Time for the most motivational segment in all of sports. Also time where we read some pretend viewer mail. Christina went to the pretend post office and brought back this letter. Thank you, Christina. Dear Wildes, love the show. Why? Wow, thank you. Love the openings that you do. Wow. I'll tell you what, don't sleep on the post office. They are quick with the mail. Glad to see Brew back from jury duty. That's an interesting question. Was there a dress code?
No.
Cheers, Ryan and Brian.
I actually dressed, I had a nice collared shirt on.
Really? But you could wear your normal clothes?
Yeah, I saw people in, like, T-shirts and stuff like that.
Was there a hat policy? Okay. That's stupid.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
I had a nice collar.
That's a heck of a jury.
It used to be, it was a
quite
show
an
that Gianna
eclectic
liked.
group. I was about to say it.
No, but it was a fictitious show. It was like the Truman Show, but the guy was on the jury.
I was going to say, those.
Wasn't it also a Pauly Shore movie? Yeah, I think it was from the 90s.
Okay, all right, let's get to it. All right, at number 3,
Bruce, tell me your chicanery.
Buddy Hield.
Wow.
All right, this is about motivation, buddy. Now, I remember, these two youngsters might not. I remember
At college?
when Buddy Hield, you were the 6th pick of the 2016 draft.
He was unbelievable at Oklahoma.
Yes, you averaged 25 points a game, won the Naismith Award, the Wooden Award. And people thought you would be a star, okay? And you've been a nice player. 20 points a game, one season in Sacramento, 15 points a game for your career. Obviously not a star. Now's your chance. Oh. For 1-2 weeks, you can be a star. It is the perfect situation, buddy. Perfect. Because they are going to, and you are the best shooter on the team now that Steph's out. All right? Your team is going to be encouraging you. Shoot, shoot, shoot away. And best of all, no one expects a thing.
That's a great point.
No one expects you guys to maybe even get to a game 6 when Steph could be back. So you are totally playing with house money. So go out there and shoot away and keep going. You averaged 28 the last 2 games. Keep it going and give the Warriors a chance. Now, honestly, I really don't think you're going to do it. But I'm pulling for you. I'm just keeping it real. But I'm pulling for you. It's, reverse psychology, too. I'm playing.
He's rooting for him.
I'm pulling for you, buddy. Go out there and get it done.
Do you believe in him?
No. Nah, I really don't believe he's going to get it done. But I'm pulling for you. All right, at number 2, speaking of the same series, Ant Edwards.
Oh, this is a good one.
And I want you to be the face of the league, apparently more than you even want to be the face of the league, all right? But you got to go out there and do your thing. And I get it. Maybe, you haven't been, I've been hard on you. I've been hard on you, because I have such high hopes for you. I want you to be that face of the league. I don't really love the giggling, the chuckling, the guffawing after bad losses at press conferences. I thought you celebrated and strutted a little too much, through the streets of LA after beating the Lakers in the first round. I get it was an upset, but it was the first round, okay? So I really have high hopes for you. And maybe you have had that approach because you're playing with house money because you're 23, right? You're still young. And for a team led by a 23-year-old, you have gotten them pretty far. Yeah. Western Conference Finals. So nobody was going to kill you, for losing last year in the Western Conference Finals, even though you were physically exhausted by your own admission. Nobody would have killed you if you had lost this series to a Steph Curry-led Warriors. Even though you guys were the favorites, I don't think you would have got heavily criticized until now.
Yeah.
The house money's gone. Like, Steph Curry's out. You guys should win this series going away. And if you don't, you will be heavily criticized for the first time in your career. The honeymoon stage will be over, and people will start coming at you like, when's he going to start winning? Why isn't his team going as far as it should? Now, Ant, I believe in you.
Right.
So go out there and get it done. I think you don't even get it to a game 6 and give Steph a chance to get back. What you got to do, attack the rim. You're shooting 42% in the series, I think 32% from three. Attack the rim. No one can stop you from getting to the rim. And once you get there, nobody can stop you from laying it up or dunking. So, and I believe in you. Go get it done. At number one, this is the most obvious Budless choice of the season and perhaps ever.
Wow.
I mean, it's obvious. It's about Jayson Tatum, period. All right? And so you, Jayson, this was going to be your year. And a week ago, it was all good just a week ago.
Yeah.
It looked like it was sizing up to be your year. Heavily favored to win the championship, certainly to win the East. This was going to be the year you did put the playoff, struggles to rest, and be consistent in the postseason, win Finals MVP. This was the year you were going to avenge those benchings for Team USA under Steve Kerr last summer. This was the year that had you won the championship, if you win the championship, if you're Finals MVP, you enter next season, I'm going to say it, in pole position for your first MVP. This could be the year, was supposed to be the year you do something that Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Dave Cowens never did. Win back-to-back championships in Boston. Oh, it was going to be glorious.
Okay.
Until a few days ago. And not only have you lost the first two games to the Knicks, you have been horrific. Forget the rebounds. You average 15 rebounds a game, who cares? All right, you are shooting horribly. 28%, I believe, from the field, 25% from three, a no-show in the fourth quarters and overtime. So, Jayson, you got to go out and win these next two games, win this series. Because if you don't win this series, here's what's at stake, Wildes. Okay. There's been a lot of talk about the Celtics breaking up.
Yes.
Even if you win the championship.
That's right.
So what if you lose this series? Could it be Jalen on the block? Porzingis? Tatum? I doubt it. But if he struggles like this, could Tatum be the guy they move?
So I think they are.
I doubt it, but everything would be possible if you lose to the Knicks. So, Jayson, I actually do believe in you. Go ahead and get it done.
I think Tatum is probably the least likely of anybody, but I do think that it is overwhelmingly likely that this season is the last season this Celtics starting five is together. I'm not talking about Horford retiring, which is probably going to happen as well. And if they lose,
I would think Porzingis, but then he's got the illness.
Right, and so whatever it is, so I agree with that entirely. Okay, Wildes.
Oh, good news, everyone. You're in for a real treat. Sports media talk from the Sports Media Ombudsman.
Thank you, KW, for that wonderful
Everyone loves
introduction,
this.
as always. Well, Brew's going to like this. Sports Media Ombudsman surveys the entire sports media landscape, figure out what needs ombudding. Sometimes it's me. I have put myself on there a few times.
The whole intro.
Sometimes, sadly, it's someone else on the show.
This is the cop-out. If you put one of us on it.
Witt's here. He doesn't like when I put other media on it, which means
I send you stuff.
I know.
I sent you several things. I say,
you wanted me to put
interesting
Richard Jefferson on there. I like.
No, not Richard Jefferson.
No, it's the picture you sent me. Whatever it is, doesn't matter, because here's the deal. We all make mistakes. We must learn from those mistakes. Sadly, it would appear our Kevin Wildes has not. Let me tell America a quick story.
This will be great.
This last year, Kevin Wildes had one through-line take of the entire NBA season. The Denver Nuggets, who were the defending champions, no one was beating them in a 7-game series. They were a great team that was about to go back-to-back, and it was so clear and obvious. And then in round 2, they ran into a team no one really believed in. That team won the first 2 games in their building and beat them. And then Wildes immediately, within 6 weeks, was like, actually, I was wrong about the historically great team in our midst. It's Boston. And this year, all year long, his one take has been Boston, the defending champs, are so clearly the very best team. No one is beating them in a 7-game series. And now they lose their first 2 games at home, staring down the barrel of the exact same fate as Denver. Which is why it's one thing to make the mistake once, another thing to make the mistake twice. I'm doing this, Wildes, because I love you, and I want to prevent you from making the same mistake 3 years in a row. Because, spoiler alert, America, here's what I fear is going to happen. If the Knicks do in fact beat the Celtics, Wildes is then going to be like, I've got it. The historically great team in our midst is the Thunder.
Right.
And next
100%.
April,
it will be the Thunder.
Bro, I've only done
absolutely.
a quote from 11 months from now. It's so obvious. No one can beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. They're the best team. They have a historically great resume, and they're going to win a 2nd straight championship. And then we're going to have some real conversations about where SGA ranks historically. That's coming down the turnpike. So I'm begging you, KW, to just not step on the same rake 3 years in a row. That's it.
Didn't he? What about the Bucks when he brought the deer into the studio?
So there is a bit of a history of the Bucks were not the defending champs though, because the Bucks won, then the Warriors won.
Right.
And I think it was the Bucks were actually playing the Celtics.
Yes.
And I actually did that strategically because I'm such a Patriots fan. I talked to Whit, the boss, like, hey man, nobody really understands what you're doing. You like the Patriots and the Red Sox, but you believe in Giannis against the Celtics. So I brought that in, and it was like, oh, this guy's from Milwaukee. And then if you remember, the Celtics then beat the Bucks by like 35 points.
So it was a plot, a ploy.
Whatever it was.
It was strategic.
Whatever it was, it's just I feel like the Thunder actually are the
they're
best.
Thunder next.
I do like
they're
point
next on
differential.
the list.
That being said, I don't think we're going to get there because guess who I'm putting on the Bud list? The New York Knicks.
Oh, that's good.
Quick story.
I like this.
When I was a young child, we had at the playground, there was like this rainbow kind of jungle gym thing that you could climb up. And you're supposed to climb it.
Yeah.
I think you were supposed to hang from it.
Yeah.
And then get to the other side. I climbed up it like this, like a dog. All of a sudden, I was up too high. And I was like, wow, I should be doing great right now, but I'm actually in a very, very bad spot. And I think I started crying. I really was. Someone had to come save me. That's where the Knicks are right now. Everything is going great. Wow, up 2-0. Josh Hart ordering Uber Eats from the post-game press conference. Everything is great. Here's the questions that you guys can answer honestly, out loud, or in your hearts. Have the Knicks played well?
No.
They haven't.
No.
Out of 90 games the Knicks played, last night was their worst, .948 points per possession. The Celtics were even worse, but the Knicks played out of 90 games this year, that was their 90th offensive performance. Were they missing open shots, or the Celtics defense really flustering? I'll say that the Celtics defense was flustering.
Yeah.
On the other hand, are the Celtics, and this is weird because they already played, I would say this before game 2. Do you think the Celtics will continue to miss these open shots? Dustman, can you run that video of the Celtics missing wide open shots? Not close. These are wide open shots. The story of this game is not, and the story of the series is not, wow, Tibbs pressure. No, these are wide open shots that are just being missed. They're going to end up going down in Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks are 1-2 this postseason. The Celtics, oddly, remember we talked about this was a bigger story last year. Celtics are in the last 4 years,
road
Josh,
team than home team in the playoffs.
23-16 at home, 22-9 on the road. So when this game comes to Madison Square Garden, I'll give the Celtics these 2 games at the Garden. And then,
They better win them.
You've given them every game this series.
well, they beat the Knicks 4 times in a row in the regular season, so I could see it happening again. I'm saying the Knicks would be a little bit nervous. Shaq called it a must-win. I think it's a must-win.
Hold up. Can I ask a question about the must-win thing?
Sure.
Is it a must-win for Boston?
Yeah.
Pretty as close as it can be.
Who is it more of a must-win for in your eyes?
Well, the Celtics.
Okay, all right. Well, then, okay. Well, so that's
you don't want to be down 3-0. Now, granted, the big 3-0 team was the Red Sox over the Yankees.
No,
so
but,
yes,
but here's the other side
remember?
to the being down 3-0, and this is why the Celtics brew. They are the champions with a weird ghost of playoff history past. They were in the conference finals 2 years ago against a team that they had. It was way less talented than this Knicks team. Celtics were just as big a favorites, and they went down 3-0. Now they somehow forced the game 7 and then lost. It was to with the Heat, the 8 seed.
The Heat were the 8 seed.
8 seed, and so they are prone to these bouts of not.
Well, again, that's because of their style of play with all the 3-point shooting and the quick shots. Wildes, I like that though. I like that addition to the Butlers because the Knicks. He's right. Like, if they don't win now, I mean, look, they were such underdogs that some people will give them a little bit of a pass. But you're up 2-0. You haven't yet played well. You've got the, home court advantage by a mile now. If you can't close this out, that's a problem.
But isn't it also, and this feels like a stat you like more than me, road teams that win the first 2 games in a best-of-7 series are 24-4 historically.
I think it's 26-5.
Okay, so, all right. Sorry,
I think that's all very good. I would be nervous if I was in the. When you have a meeting, there's always like one part you're doing the meeting, one part there's group dynamics. I would raise my hand and be like, they're just missing all their threes. They're on a historically bad.
You mean if you're a Knick?
Yeah. What is our path to winning?
Jalen Brunson
they can
not
hit shots
going 6 of
themselves.
19.
That's the thing. But
Jalen Brunson's being forced to go 6 for 19.
I mean, some. I mean, they're not all.
Is Jalen Brunson missing open shots besides the game winner?
So you think the Celtics are missing a bunch of wide open shots and the Knicks are everything is contested? Really?
Kind of, yes.
No.
Okay.
I don't think the Knicks should feel like we're hanging by or we're hanging by a thread. We've been lucky. I think they should feel great and be confident. No, we got to take care of business, but they shouldn't look at this like. We're lucky.
This is the part that I think belies the argument. Just quickly, if you weren't so pot committed to the Celtics, wouldn't it concern you? The first stat you gave us.
Which is what?
The New York Knicks just played their worst offense. They've played 90 games this year.
Yep.
They've shown you they've never played worse than that. And they won. So they are, by that stat, almost guaranteed to play better than that.
Look at that.
And so to me, if I'm the Knicks, I would, if we just beat the Celtics 140-135, I feel like that's not sustainable. Beating them in a tough, low-scoring game, I feel like the Knicks are going to say, we'll sign up for 5 more of these.
Yeah. You're a fan of Vegas.
Yeah.
What do your friends in Las Vegas say about this series?
So my friends in Vegas, the moment this game ended.
Odd.
So here, I'm really glad you asked that. My friends in Vegas, the moment this game ended, had the Knicks as the favorites to win the series. Then they reacted to all the squares out there betting on the Celtics, and now the Celtics are the slight favorites. But my friends in Vegas, Wild, say it's 52-48 right now. And you don't seem to
52-48 Boston.
Yes, you don't seem to have the confidence that we have a slightly weighted coin. You seem to have the confidence of the Celtics are much, much better. And
2-0. I mean, you should be more than 52-48.
No,
It's 2-0. You give me a big enough lead on Usain Bolt, I will win the race.
Yeah, I think that's what we're saying. We're not saying that if it was a best of 99, the Knicks would win. Saying it's a best of 7 and they're halfway there. Okay. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.